Welcome to today's Welcome to today's episode. Yeah, so I have proof that Tobi actually takes her time to wake up generally.
Because from before I even entered, before I even got into GSSP, my mom was like, "Oh, you're gonna be a medical doctor." Lol. Disconnected from their parents. People our age disconnecting from their parents and being like, I wish you did this thing, I wish you did that thing.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Welcome to today's Welcome to today's episode of the FailProof Pod.
Hi, my name is Paul.
My name is Abimbola, and this is our esteemed, honored, auspicious guest.
First guest.
First
External
external guest on the FailProof.
Yes! You have a bell.
So yeah, so
The milestone.
You guys,
Welcome.
You guys didn't tell me that.
Thanks.
Yeah. So introduce yourself kindly.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tobi Enjoyyyy. What am I supposed to say again?
What do you want us to know about you?
I'm a soft babe.
That's a great reputation to have, actually.
Okay, my name is Tobi Enjoyyyy. I work as a content writer. What else do? I love to watch movies. I read books when I'm chanced and when I'm in the mood to.
When you're
I love
chanced.
I love to travel as well when I have the money or when they decide to sponsor my life.
When you are chanced,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
usually do chance you?
Like if I'm not working, if I'm not watching a movie,
Or living a soft life? Based on who you've been.
or enjoying my life. I also love to cook for myself.
Why is that?
Why? I was
You love
yeah
to cook. Okay. It's not like when you said you love to travel, you said for
For
yourself.
myself.
Why?
I love to cook for myself because since I started living alone, cooking has been my way of showing myself love.
Mhm.
Like I would just be in my house. Maybe I'm watching a video of a recipe or something. I'm like, oh, I think I should try this. And I've discovered ways that I can cook for myself. Also, I love cooking for myself because if I cook nonsense, I wait my nonsense by myself.
Proud.
But if I cook nonsense and my friends eat it, I know the friends I have, I will not hear the end of it. So it's better I perfect it by myself and eat it. And then,
I'm one of the friends.
yes.
Yeah. You didn't have to give me bombastic side eye. But yes, I'm one of the friends. So if I were to start off this conversation, Tobi has graciously agreed to come and share some failure journeys or failure I don't know how to put it. Things that look like failure. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
Things that look like failure from her own journey. Just bearing in mind that the point of the FailProof podcast is to get us to be comfortable destigmatizing the negative feelings we associate with failure. Like, you failed and so what? Did you die?
Life did not end.
Unless you die. And if so, you are at rest.
at least you're finally
You don't have bills again. No more bills.
So like there's
No more
always
Lagos
success
to deal
story.
with.
Bro.
You failure too.
Actually, that's a more bigger.
No, you're
that's a
with
bigger
Jesus.
story.
Like,
That's the biggest win, being with Jesus. Like
you're free from Nigeria.
free from Lagos.
Free from Lagos. Free from Tinubu.
Some baby.
So, guys, are we romanticizing death right now?
No.
No, but
Stay alive.
That's
Now who die lose, according to Bucci.
Exactly.
Now who
Don't give up, please. Gucci 2024.
Hey! So this is going to be a very chill conversation. Tobi is my good friend, and millennial or she?
She mad too.
I'm a good friend. I hope my other friends can hear this testimonial. My good friend, meaning
Yes.
I've just categorized you as good. I've collected you like that. I just put in category of good. Okay? Period. You know how people say, "Oh, I took my L." Whatever, I took my L. What's the biggest L you think you've taken in life?
I think let me laugh first. Because there's some L's that you take and you be like, wow,
That happened.
wow. So I think I've taken quite a handful of L's, but I think the one that I would say that kind of stuck to me as like maybe not like shame or
Capital
something, but like when
letter
people
L.
hear it, they be like was when I graduated and I had a second class lower. So primary, secondary school, I was always top of my class. I'd go for quizzes, debates. I even went for one
Milo last kid stand.
no, actually
No, I thought all brilliant people
No.
went for that.
there was this reality TV show that the wife of the former governor of Oyo State organized one time, and I won. And
Cowbell mathematics.
no, now I say wife of the former governor.
Sorry.
Cowbell, wow.
Like she's not capable of organizing.
She's not. Is she the one in charge of Cowbell? No.
I don't see.
Wow. You don't know, maybe our daughter is going to be watching this and be like, you don't try that son, mommy.
No, I'm very. That's. Oh no. Well, first of all, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that she had her own
Initiative.
thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. She had her own initiative that she organized, and I won, and I had this scholarship to go to the university.
Are you serious?
Okay, fantastic.
Tobi, you had scholarship to go to the university.
Yeah, I mean, it's why I'm here. Failure, right? That's what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
I apologize.
Yeah. So for like the first, maybe like 2 years that I was in uni, I didn't even know I was in uni. It was like, okay, they brought me here. I'm here. I'm going to classes. Okay, what are we doing?
Sorry,
What were you
just-
studying?
Just before you go, yeah. So why did it feel like that? Was it like too many decisions out of your hands? You didn't want to be there.
To be honest, I don't know why. In retrospect, I don't know why I felt that way.
We just were coasting.
Honestly, I was just there.
But were you having fun with it?
So I went to community university. I was what I would call a model student, from my hostel to class to the church. So it was like a cycle for me. School, I don't know. I was just like doing whatever I wanted to do. I didn't even know what was happening. It was in my third year, second semester. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Like I woke up and I was like, I'm actually in school. And I was like, okay. And then I remember talking to one of my friends, Tolu and me, and I was telling her like all that was happening. And she was like, you actually can do this and everything. And then in my final year, was it my third year? I can't remember when, but there was one semester, I can never forget. I had a 4.45. And I was like, wow, me? I can do this. And I remember then I went to Tolu and room. I went to tell her, I think it was a test that we had done. And I got like maybe 20 something over 30. I was like, this has never happened before.
Are you serious?
So I went to her room and then I didn't see her there. So I wrote to her note. I was like, oh, this happened. And then she came to my room and she didn't meet me and she left a note for me. She's like, oh, I'm so proud of you. I told you that you could do it. Blah, 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 blah. So it was those 2-3 semesters that I had like really good grades, 4 points plus, that helped me throughout like the remaining part of school. And I finished with a 3.45 or 3.48 or so. Out of 5. So I had a 2-2. When my friend called me and said, oh, I just checked graduation list and your name is there. What was even more important for me was I was graduating. Even if it was third class, I'm like, yeah, because I didn't think I was going to graduate.
Yeah.
And it's not like, oh, I did anything extra special or out of the blue.
You just woke up.
I literally just woke up and I was like, I'm in school and I just have to like take this thing seriously. So it was a case of, oh, I wasn't seeing it as anything before. I don't know what happened. Glory to God.
Do you know, I actually have proof that Tobi takes a while to wake up.
Oh my God.
Generally in life, I'm not lying. Like, we will go somewhere. She will be the one saying, Abimbola, let's go.
That's
We'll
a
go.
That's a different case, by the way.
And she will get there and start pretending like, not pretending, behaving like she's not the one that said we
She's
should
still on
go.
the way.
It's now after like 2-3 hours, she will arrive. Me, I get there immediately. I'm like, but anyway, yeah, anyway, back to what we asked you, which is just now continue. Just let us know why do you feel that was the biggest L of your life, finishing with a second class lower?
So I think it was because I had expectations growing up. So because I was always like top of my class, people would look at me and say, oh, you're that babe that went on. Oh, okay. Let me also say that I went on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, in case you guys
Are you
didn't
serious?
know. Yeah.
We don't know we are master.
Celebrity!
We did not really work on Let's re-welcome
A person of quality.
a person of status.
Start timber and caliber.
Oh, really?
And you're letting me disrespect you in this friendship, Tobi. Me, you like it.
How would so if you okay? You're okay. But I remember I was not a friend then because I said.
Oh no,
if
I
you
was
needed to
in
call a friend,
JSS
to call it.
3.
Wait, did they have like a section for students?
No, it was children's special 2009.
Oh,
I
wow.
remember it was children's special
Wow.
in December. Was it December? No, I can't remember the exact month we went, but I think they aired it in December. So like 2-3 months after we had gone. So I remember that night. So I was about to get to 500,000 naira, and then I got the question wrong. So I got to 50k. And I remember that night, people were calling my mom, like, "Oh, Tobi, tell Tobi, let her walk away." And my mom is like, "She's beside me here." Like,
Oh, what
we're
is she
done.
saying?
Yeah, like it's already been done. We're here.
Yeah, because they pre-record.
Yeah, so it was like a pre-recording. And
Wow.
I remember the following day, people will now come to our house and say, "Oh, you went to what's here?" I'm like, "Yeah, but okay, why are you guys here?"
And the truth is, you actually look like a smart person. Like if somebody looks, no, look at that.
She
I
does.
She
I
does.
I think
Like,
it's the
if you need,
glasses.
if there was ever like the legit stamp of the fact that you are a smart Nigerian, I think going on most
Bro.
it's like your biggest like
And you
that's
did it. How
evidence.
old were you when you went?
2009, I was in GSS 3. I think I was 14, 15.
Wow. Okay, so you're
Or
smart. You've
13.
established that.
Wow. Okay, so
I think
now,
it's
oh, that makes sense. So when you got into uni and you did not
Yeah.
wake up,
So there was this standard already. And in secondary school, I think till now, in the what do they call it now? The adverts board of my
Yeah.
secondary school. Out of
Notice
like
board.
20 achievements, there's like 7 with my name in it. And like, oh, we went for trace competition, we came third, led by this person. We this person went for this competition, led by this. I'm like, okay, you
did
don't
you
have
forget
to
all these achievements? Like, do you
my name?
forget that you did all these things?
A lot of people, well, not a lot of people, Sha. If a handful of people, when I tell them, like, oh, you know, they'll ask me, what was your result? I'll tell them, and they'll be like, what's happening? I'll be like, I don't know. Must something be happening?
And
Right?
it's okay not to know. I think that's another thing because again, anyone that went to see you knows that maybe 90% of the students that get in don't necessarily choose to get in.
Right.
Most times you are not the one that
Enforced.
choose. So there's usually that, like, oh, I want to go to you. Like, oh, now you must go see you. I want to. And a lot of people interpret it differently. Some people sweep, and I think maybe that's probably what, I don't know if it was deeper than that, but like, you could have just been like, okay,
Cool.
you guys want me here. I'll
I'm
just
here.
do the bare
Right.
minimum. I'll do bare minimum, and then I'll get my way.
And the
through
fact that you didn't get expelled for the first 2 years says a lot.
So, in CU, what really gets you expelled is beyond
It's not academic.
It's not
academic, yeah.
It's actually more
And I mean, I
spiritual.
was a model, and I was a model student. I was going to church, attending all the events, except
like
college
you
events.
could be
Anyways.
going to church and be
Failing
failing,
at school.
like be on like
Terribly.
0.5.
Yeah,
And
but
you
you're
make
good.
it, but you start to service.
You're gone. You're gone, and you're out of.
So, and I don't think the school was even, they were open about it. They're like, it's a spiritual environment.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's crazy how many CU people surround me in my life, even though I never
The
went.
thing about Covenant University is there's a kind of greatness in their graduates. So for me, even though I finished with a very poor grade, I mean, you almost cannot tell. You say, you finished the first class. First what?
Oh, yes. So there's,
Don't I wish?
yes,
I think there was also the part where I think I actually wanted to go to Babcock. So I wrote the exams for like 4 schools. I wrote for Redeemers, I wrote for Babcock, I wrote for Covenant. And I was like, I really like Babcock, I like the vibes. And then my friends were going to Babcock. But my dad was like, Covenant, that's where you're going to. Is this, at some point my mom was like, did they pay you to bring this child to Covenant University? Like, what's going on? I was like, Covenant is a good school. Men were like, have you been there before? Like, what's going on? But I mean, maybe it just took me a while to realize that, okay, this is my life now and I have to face it.
And looking back, would you like to give your dad some credit?
Actually,
Because it looks like
I keep saying that going to Covenant University changed the trajectory of my life because I really could not have imagined myself. I really could not have imagined myself in another place.
So I was going to take you back. Looking back at your relationship with your parents, do you think that at any point you feel that there was a failure, a setback from either side? There was something that somebody could have done to make you, because I mean, it would have been nice if you still had all these experiences and those testers. It would have been bad, right? You might have still ended up not using the certificate, but it would have been bad because now, I mean, to some people, not to you, it feels like, oh, this could have been nicer. This could have been good. Like, do you think that there was something in particular that happened between you and your parents that could have been better at that point?
Can I add on to that question? Because it's in the same direction. You know how you said, you were just like, you know what I mean? Now that you brought me here, cool, whatever. Like, do you draw? So do you feel that, just adding on to that, do you draw any link to possibly your attitude the first 2-3 years of school?
I think as children of African parents, we have to understand that our parents, to a large extent, they did their best and they are still doing their best. So if they have faulted in whatever way, we have to give them that grace, right? But I also think it's important for parents to also extend grace to their children. Yeah, knowledge, wisdom, all of that from the past is great, is fantastic, but there's some things, there's some things that will not pass. And we find a lot of children being disconnected from their parents. People our age disconnecting from their parents and being like, you know, I wish you did this thing, I wish you did that thing, right? Fine, understandably they didn't do it, but that has gone. You have to own up to what it is. You're an adult now. Learn, raise yourself. Raise yourself. And aside raising yourself, you also have to reorient yourself that you're also going to be a parent one day. And what you saw your parents do and you didn't like, you don't do it to your children. So it starts from you morphing yourself as a person. Like, okay, these were the emotions that I didn't get from my parents. This is what my dad didn't do. This is what my mom didn't do. But I have to do better for my children. You know how they say, our parents will say, when you grow up, you understand. There's some things that we understand now, and there's some things that we don't understand. We're like, yeah, I kind of understand, but you could have done better, right? You could have handled the situation better, but it's their experience, it's what they come to understand. So, yeah, we just need to give them that grace, you know.
When you finish school, and maybe first time going home, like, oh, I can do it. What was the reaction from the parents?
I remember, God, I feel like I'm going to say a lot. I'm going to do a lot of revelations. I'm going to do a lot of revelations on this podcast. So when I finished uni, we finished in sometime April, and convocation was in July. So big shout out to my doctor though, our family doctor. I just brought it up to him one time. I was like, oh, I'm writing this book, and he's like, it would be good for you to publish it. I was like, why? So he said yes, that I should bring the manuscript. So I gave it to him, and then he sent it to his publisher. And next thing he just said, oh, I should call the person, talk to them. He's going to send them money. And that's really how like the whole thing came. So I had like a book launch on my birthday. I
think we're both finding out about this person to be the same level. I think proud to now is just laying your eyes and enjoyment. But book launch. Okay.
It wasn't really a big deal, but I mean, the Bible says to not despise your small beginnings, right? But don't look at me like that.
Bro, look at me and saying, I'm her friend.
It's good.
Tobi.
Yeah, it's a surprise, right? I mean, I try not to
toot your own horn.
Exactly, not to come off like that person because I'm trying, right? So we went to.
Was that while you were still in school? Just when you're
like around your graduation?
Yeah, I had written the whole thing before.
What kind of book? Is it fiction?
Yeah, it was fiction. It was like a small story book. It was fiction. So for my doctor, it was like just to encourage me, you know. Till now, he keeps asking me, when are you going to write? When are you going to publish? I'm like, don't kill me. That's not what I'm doing right now, right? So, I mean, thank you to him for doing that because it really spoiled me and, you know, made me really go into the writing, which I'm doing right now. So we had like an event that was supposed to hold at that time, right? Like the book launch. So we're at the office of the person that was supposed to anchor the event. He's like a family friend. So my friend just called me and was like, oh, he just checked, they said convocation list is out and he just checked that my name is there. I was like, oh, great. And like I told my mom, she was happy and all of that.
Wow.
She didn't even care the grade I finished with. Our own was just.
Do you think they were
I
already
just
scared by
graduated.
year 1 to 3? That they were like,
Did they
just
even
pray.
know?
They didn't know how bad it was.
I have a feeling they didn't know.
Actually, I'm not sure if my mom knew. Did I used to send my results to my dad? I don't know. So thankfully, it was after we left that he started sending results to parents directly. They send it to parents on Christmas Day. So
Yes.
whether you're eating Christmas chicken or not, is that day you
That's
know.
wicked.
Find out.
Terrible. So like, my mom was just happy that I was graduating. It was now later when I went to check. I was like, oh, 2-2. But I mean, most important thing is I'm graduating. 2250, whatever. I'm graduating.
Interesting. So, do you think you've gotten into that blank space in any other area of your life since then? Not school, maybe career, maybe. Have you ever found yourself just,
I think when I finished NYC and I was job hunting, so I job hunted for a couple of months before I started working at this company. So I was at the company for like 2 years. Around the beginning of 2022, towards the end of 2021, I was like, I feel like I'm stuck in this company. I'm not really doing anything. I really want to change, leave this place that I am, because I feel like I'm not really contributing anything at that point. And it was back and forth, do this, do that. I'll go, I will not go, before I eventually left the job. So that was like one thing that I did that I would say was like a leap of faith. That looked like a leap of foolishness at that time, you know? And
Why?
a handful of people are going to find this out for the first time on this podcast.
exclusive?
So, I had told a lot of people that, I got a job, but actually, no. I just wanted to leave the job that I was working at that time. So I just plunged. And I left the job, I think, July, before I got this job that I'm doing now in November. So for like...
So you left without knowing where you were going to?
I didn't know where I was going.
Bro.
So during the time that I was jobless, I was doing a lot of writing. Gosh, I wrote a lot at that time. Took a lot of writing courses. And sometimes I look back at what I've written, I'm like, wow, you're good. So, like a lot of things that I even use now in the job I'm doing, I learned it from that time. And like a lot of drafts and everything that I use, I'm like, so that time, I looked at it as a time of, what am I doing in my life? But it was really a time of, being built. But being built in pain, being built in frustration between like August, September, and then November when I eventually got the job. It was really, really painful. And then the entirety of 2023, I was like, I'm going to do this job and I'm going to, just rest my head, relax my head, because it looks like I've been through a lot in just a couple of months. But that was like another time I would say that, yes, that kind of came up in my life.
How did you deal with external voices at that time? Because you were taking a very foolish, you used the word, I'm not dissing you, a very foolish step, leaving a job where you didn't have something else. I imagine, your family was still in the picture, you had friends, you probably had mentors. How did their voices or the lack of affect the way you felt and the decisions you made?
So my mom, when I told her that I was leaving my job, oh my gosh, she was so scared. And then she was telling me, why would I just leave my job like that? Have I gotten another one? And all of that. And I know for her, it was financial security and job security. And then my close friend, Sophia, she knew at the time, like, what was happening. I saw from my brother every time he asked me. I remember one time we went out and my brother was like, Sophia, please ask your friend what she's doing with her life.
Like, I'm here. You can
Since
Since
you are not in charge of your senses.
we were at the table and my brother literally did like this. Ask your friend what she's doing with her life. And it was so funny because it was the following day that my partner and I broke up. So
You really didn't know what
brother, bro. So at that point, I wrote in my notes, I think God hates me. God, please, I'm very sorry. But like, yeah, at that point, it was just a lot of pain in my mind. Like, what is going on? Is it only me? But looking back now, I'm like, that time has helped me grow. I have grown mentally. I have grown financially, obviously. I have grown in the way in the way that, I handle things.
We are not into that too, yeah.
Because I am now a more matured person.
Yeah.
In the relationship that I'm in right now, I have seen like how all of the learnings and growings now playing out. I'm like, wow, I'm proud. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. Like, the way I handle things now are different from the way I used to handle things, and I'm more mature. I'm like, this is good. I mean, sometimes you go through pain and then you're like, you don't know what's going on, but it's really just preparing you for the next life. You need to take that big L to get that big win. So the distance from where you are now to where you need to be, it's probably not that long. It's probably not that far. But you must say, if you can't lodge, if you can't where we're going to is not far. The places we are branching.
Word.
Is one that is plenty. So there's just some times that you think like this thing is happening and God hates me or something, but it's needed. It's a stepping stone.
And the places we're branching are also necessary because you need to branch here and pick small wisdom.
Yes.
Branch here, pick small experience.
Character
branch,
formation.
bro, you're wise. What?
Yeah.
You used to show me this side normally. Yeah. Wow. Bro.
From what you said, I'm trying to paint the picture of the kind of person that you are. I think that you are very
resilient.
Yeah. Like, okay, shit happens. And
we
then
move on.
We move, right? But has there ever been a time
when you move on? Or you did not move on according to the standards you set for yourself?
That it was like
that it's paining you like, oh, you're going to move on, baby. You know, Shelley, why are you not moving on?
Has it happened in your career, in your relationships, in friendships? Have you experienced something that you're not prepared for? I mean,
something that caught you off guard.
Yeah.
That even your steeds could not compose it.
You need
to do like this for me. And then I'll collect it.
Has there been that time?
At the moment, I don't think there's any. One thing my mom has taught me is to have shock absorber. I mean, there's some things that people do to you and you'll be like, wow, you really did me like this. Or there's some things that happen and you're like,
it's like a movie.
So,
I don't know.
So having a shock absorber is nice. Right? But does that, because I think that people that have shock absorbers. Yeah. So it's like they move through life not
fully engaged,
not fully trusting everything. So you have like a 5% chance that even though this friendship with this person is looking sweet, this person can mess up. So do you think that kind of?
So you have reserve.
Yeah. So you don't give out. You are not 100% vulnerable.
So I think so. One of the things that my mom doesn't exactly like about me is the fact that I trust people easily. If you tell me you are white, I believe it 100%. It's why I tell people that if you have not left your house, please don't tell me you're on your way because I'll believe you. It's better you tell me.
How will you deal with Lagos?
She lives in
Lagos. We are always on our way.
Especially when it comes to like keeping to time. I would rather you tell me you get there in 20 minutes and be there in 3 minutes than tell me you'll be there in 5 minutes and you don't come until an hour later. I hate it. So I don't give room to any kind of doubt in my heart. If I'm falling in love 100%, if I'm friends with anybody 100%, until you give me a reason to doubt the friendship with you, or give me a reason to doubt you as my lover.
Ooh, stop it!
But until that time, it's 100%. It's 100% for me.
So if you were, because I think that there's a lot that we can, especially academic viewers, I think there's a lot they can learn from you and your experience. Right. So if you were to do an advice, let me know people on 3, right? So somebody in school right now
who is going through
failures, who's going to who's failing.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless, let's disregard the fact that maybe this person used to fail in secondary school, or the fact that they won't go to university means at least they have something upstairs, right? And they are now failing. What are 3 things I can say to that person? So you think that can encourage them?
Maybe not just in academic, but like people who have who are failing in ways that you've previously did. So someone who's quit their job without knowing where to go, someone who is dealing with external voices, someone who's just because they can't really fit into where they are. You get. So what would you tell them?
First of all, I don't think you should be taking advice from me. Because I do things sometimes without thinking. Sometimes I'm just like, I'll go, whatever happens will happen. And then I do it. Right. So first of all, you need to understand that being a failure is not bad.
That's interesting. Being a failure is not bad.
I don't even think you're a failure. Let's start from there. Because the person that is a failure is the person that died without fulfilling their potentials. And as long as you're alive,
Like what you said. Now
who
guy lose?
Exactly. As long as you're alive, I believe that there's still a lot that you can do. And people always tend to put a cap on themselves, like, oh, you must do this before 30. I don't understand. You've only been alive how many years? You still have how many years?
Plus, you were born in Nigeria, which is probably most like a disadvantage. For crying out loud,
life is already leading you 5-0. Life is already leading you 5-0.
Why so you're buying your gods? Just chill.
Please, one thing I live by is that as long as you're alive, like, as long as you're not
Jesus has not pulled the plug on your life yet.
Jesus is not there for you to think you're a failure, my dear. So first of all, you're not a failure. You're not. Number 2, silence every voice. The voice that matters is yours and that of God. Maybe your mom's too sharp, because your mommy.
Depending on the mom that you have, sorry.
Because I'm hearing a lot of mom here. Your dad's voice in cook.
So you know how they say that nobody can love you like your mom, because there's this line that I use when I write about somebody that is ugly. I'll say they have a face only a mother can love. Yeah. Because
should I write that? Okay, I'm recording.
They have a face only a mother can love, because there's some people that you look at and you be like, yeah, I'm very sorry.
I think there's a pidgin version of that thing.
It's like those yam. Monkey no fine, but mama like
exactly.
Why do you not use it, Papa? Okay, now I understand.
So of course, yes, there's some fathers that
the father will ask for DNA.
More often than exactly. More often, even though the father himself looks like somebody you shouldn't look at twice. But because he was able to bag the woman who is pretty, he thinks his child is not deal. Wow. Forgetting that DNA cannot be crushed. Wow. Do you understand? So more often than not, the father will back out.
Yeah.
So it's very important for you to silence the voices that don't make sense. Because for me, as long as they don't matter in the grand scheme of things, the voices should not matter.
I saw something on Twitter, just to add to that. Someone said, never take criticism from someone you would not take advice from.
Exactly.
I'm like,
actually
people are very thoughtful and profound. Bro! Very, very
because
profound.
There are a lot of people getting angry online because one guy whose handle ends in like 00771.
And you now find out that the boy is in SS2.
Put a comment on your post and you're texting. But your friends are in the same comment telling you, oh, you look beautiful, you look good, we love you. You disregard all that. And then this.
let me give an example here. In December of last year, I posted something on Twitter and it went pretty viral.
Just tell us what you posted.
I'm not gonna say it.
Find it. December,
I'm not gonna say it. So I just made the tweet, and then people started falling over themselves. They're like, "Oh, this is a different kind of shot. There's nothing sexual about it." And then someone said, "This kind of comment is usually from babes that are not appealing to look at or something." So I posted on my close friend. I was like, "You guys, I just looked at this, and my mind is telling me to do what my mind is telling me." And my friend just came and said, "Babe, this thing is from how many weeks ago? Who people don't do this?" I was like, "Actually, yeah, because more people agreed to the fact that yes, this is different. Yeah. So why should I care about you from 50 miles away? That you're saying there were people that said, "Oh, the guy is out of my league." I'm like, "Do you know if I'm richer than him? Like, what are you talking about?" Like, what are you
But
talking about?
it have said that I know that my friend is arrogant. I'm
You know when they say, "Oh, the guy is out of your league," like, I am really sorry, but
who?
from the look of
Which
this
league?
guy, I don't think like anybody's out of my league. If I was shooting at a startup founder or something, and then I was talking, I was like, you people sometimes you don't have sense. I'm very sorry to put it that way, but like, yeah,
Are you really sorry though?
maybe not exactly. You are what do they call these people that?
Bombo class.
No, you are an indirect hire at a bank earning 100,000 naira. You're living in Abulegba and you're shooting your shots at a
You
you
saw so many people right now. You
I
saw
think-
contract staff.
So,
Abulegba residents. What is it? Haven't you done enough?
you are now shooting your shot at a startup founder that has like $100,000 in investment portfolio. How babes need to wake up. Anyways, that's the point of this.
To shoot shots, babes.
But like, I'm very sorry, but yeah, the truth must be told, right? So that's the second one. Silence the voice of people that do not matter.
so before you
Online
third
people.
one,
Give them.
what do you think your mom did? Because I mean, from everything you said,
You said to listen to Bomb.
like you trust what she says about you, and you kind of just hold her opinion above everyone else. How I know it's not, I mean, obviously it's not a year's work. It's something that she must have done when you were young. So like,
Yeah.
can you remember periods in your life where like your mom kind of just validated your feelings or like told you how good you were as a child, and maybe that formed the importance that you attached to her opinion?
When I was younger, I used to be very sick. I was very sick. I was very skinny and all of that. So the first memory I have of me being sick was one time where we were home and I didn't go to school that day, and my mom was trying to feed me, and then I threw up. I know she didn't scream or anything. She just said, "Oh, no problem." That she just go and wash my face, and she cleaned everything. So like I have memories of her taking care of me like when I was sick, and all the times I went for like all the competitions, she would follow me, go with me. The times that I would see a competition, I would just tell her, "Oh, mommy, there's this thing," and she'd say, "Okay, no problem. Take my phone, use it." Just these little things here and there supporting me. She might not say it, but she showed it. So all of this validated my feelings.
And the fact
and my
that you said she
emotions.
prayed for you to the point where
Yes.
you attribute your success to her prayer.
You know when people say, "Oh, my mama's prayers," I'm like, that's quite generic. But for me, my mom, I remember there was a time she was doing, I don't know what it was, some affiliate marketing thing where you have to buy some, what do they call them?
Bring somebody.
Medication.
Then
Yeah.
that person will bring another person.
So I was looking at the catalog one time and there was this drug about sharpening your brain or something. I was like, "Oh, mommy, like buy this for me so that I can be smarter in school." And I was in secondary school then. And she was like, "No problem." And she bought it. She did buy it. So the result
Brain sharpener.
the result came out. And I remember vividly the shock on the faces of both of us when we looked at
It did not work.
There's really no difference. But the fact that she bought it,
Don't kill me.
I was like, "Mommy, you really tried for me. Thanks for buying this."
Wow.
So for me, it's like, there's that validation that I got from her. Like, yeah, this is my child. I believe in her. Also, my brother didn't exactly say a lot of times, but he told me one time when he was in school, he went to Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. So he said they were showing one, I think the reality show of one spin, and I can't remember which one they were showing. And he was at the reception of their department, and he saw me on the screen, and he just very subconsciously shouted, "That's my sister!" And I was like, "Okay, why did you scream like that?" He said, "I didn't know that. Like, just saw me on the screen." I was like, "That's my sister. That's Tobi." I was like, "Okay, congratulations." Because for me, I'm like, "Okay, why are you screaming to everybody?" So people see me and they're like, "You're Dami's sister." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." But like, I don't know you. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry.
Did you watch Who Was Millionaire yesterday?
No, that
girl.
one is too close. Did you watch about 3 years ago?
On October 26th.
You don't know.
No.
Okay, give me a second. No time.
I will show you. So my brother also like validated me. If I tell him something like, so what's it going to be like? And then I'll tell you, say, no problem now, do it. So it wasn't like these subtle things that he also said. So those were really the voices
you
that I
learned to trust.
that I needed, yes.
Yeah.
And I think you're in an environment that also didn't punish failure or setbacks. So
Because they were your environment, were they?
Yeah, they were. They were also the voices of some people that I think as a person, you also need to understand that above all things, it's left to the person you're advising to take your advice or not. Like I said, my family doctor is a great influence in my life. So he'll just tell me some things like, just take this easy, all of that, just general advice. He won't try to pressure you or anything. Unlike the people that they'll say, and they'll think like they're a great influence in your life. Like, I'm very sorry, in the grand scheme of things, you don't matter. But this person will just look at me and say, okay, what's your result looking like? This is not good. You have to improve, blah, blah, blah. He would show me people in the newspaper and say, I should improve. But nothing great or looking like it's forcing anything on me or like, if you don't do it, you're a failure.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to hear that they're a failure. But I know I said in the first point that you're not a failure, but that doesn't mean that you should now go and be failing intentionally. No. I mean, sometimes you have to fail to actually learn. You fail to.
But it's not that you intended to fail. What's the very common thing, like failure to plan is planning to fail.
Yeah.
So it's different when you set out to achieve something and you find out that, it doesn't work. Because I think it takes a natural toll on you. There are things you learn in that process as opposed to setting out because you intended to fail.
Yes. So it wasn't like I set out and said, yes, I'm going to fail. Because at the end of the day, who is failing? It's not me. It's not my parents. Whose name is on the certificate? It's my own. So it wasn't them. It's always you at the end of the day. And if you think you're doing your parents,
you're doing yourself.
You're doing yourself. Because who's going to own the certificate? Who's going to look for jobs? Who is going to present themselves in the future? Present themselves to people. If you fail to learn now, it was like when I went to NYC camp and I was hearing the English that was coming out of the mouth of said university graduates. And I'm like,
Number three. Number three.
So my third advice would be to also take professional certificate courses, because that also gives you like a hedge, whatever.
I'm just going to do a piece.
He's present. He's in this studio.
Every single episode. What did I stop it?
How to do a piece? Actually,
we didn't welcome you.
I actually.
The snaps.
I remember writing a blog about Oduduwa piece, and every time I wanted more.
Are you serious?
Oduduwa is somewhere under my tongue, like my child, you gotta speak. But anyways, so it depends on your course, the course you're doing. If you're doing like human relations, you can do a CPIM or whatever they call it. Just find something that is in your field and do it. And even if it's not in your field, there's online courses that you can take. There's Coursera, there's which other one?
Udemy,
yes. What they do is they give you a boost, they give you a push, because graduating with a first class and not having anything, and you that finished with a 2 to a third class, and you have like things that you have done. Even if they will not consider your third class, they'll consider the other things that you have done that support your third class. So I'm not advising you to get a third class or a 2, but just have these things in mind. In hand, just help your cause.
I feel like another thing having those things does for you is remind you that you're not limited to one aspect only.
Yeah.
Just because academically I don't have a first class does not mean I cannot apply myself to skills or other facets of life and build in that category. And sometimes by the time you do all that and you build confidence, you start realizing that, wait, maybe I'm just not made for book. But like, I'm made for other great stuff. Maybe if you want to enter music, and the interesting thing is, so many CU students are in entertainment now. Maybe that's as you segue. You just
that actually reminds me. There's also the role that parents have to play as well. So this interest that I have in reading was actually encouraged by my dad. My dad used to travel a lot when we were younger. Today he's going to Abeokuta, tomorrow he's going to Ibadan, the next month he's going to Ilorin. So he would go to a lot of places. And I remember I would just write like a list of books I want him to buy for me, and he would buy them. And he would ask, did you read them? I'll say yes. I'll write another list for him again, and then he'll buy, and he will buy. It got to a point that his friends started calling me English major.
No.
And the man, one time he was coming to our house, he brought me an English textbook, and I was so happy. Like, anything English, I was very happy, very excited to read it. So my dad bought me Brighter Grammar, bought me this textbooks on English and all of that. It was like, since it's English you want to read, no problem, and you don't know mathematics, be reading the English. Right. So he really encouraged that in me. So like there's also the part that parents have to play. If you see that, because from before I even entered, before I even got into GSS3, my mom was like, "Oh, you're gonna be a medical doctor." Lol. Because it's one thing for a child to say, "Oh, I want to become a doctor," but you're seeing that this child, if you go to science class, I didn't like mathematics, and you want me to go to science class? How? So one thing my school did was, because we were the second set, and they saw the kind of failure that the first set had. Not exactly failure.
That's it. That you remind me. What set did this go?
So they were like, so the people that had gone to science class in like the second term, they not say, "Well, I'm not doing science again. I'm going to ask. I'm going to convention." So they made us do all the subjects in our first term. Now I said, "Okay, what class do you want to go to?" So I went to art class, and my mom was like, "Oh, Shani, she doctor in Osha." She still says it till now, and I'm like, "Brother, I'm a writer. Please, let's focus on that." So since like my GSS1, I've always been writing. So my dad was just like, "You're actually not doing this doctor. No problem. It's English word for reading it. So he will still buy me books." So that was really like a spur for me. Like, okay, your parents believe in you and they're investing in you in this area. Don't fail. So even if I failed in like other aspects of my life, which I don't exactly consider a failure, I don't think I failed in writing. Because I mean, I've had my blog now since 2013. So there's also like other writings that I've done and sent to magazines. I'll come and say, "Oh, I have this." Every time I tell my mom that I have a story in mind, she said, "Are they paying you?" That's our own. Are they paying you? Is money coming inside? I'll say, they're not paying me, but the recognition is important. There comes a time where they will pay me. But I mean, I have a job. I don't really care if they pay me or not. But for some, you have to be sure that they are going to pay you. But for me at the moment, it's like recognition. Like, okay, people are recognizing what I'm doing. And through that, I am now currently being a peer reviewer for a magazine right now. And more than anything, it's inside my CV that I'm a peer reviewer for this magazine. And that's good. So all of the read this book, do this class, all of that, it has built up to this. And more than that, it's paying me. So glory.
I want to actually acknowledge two things. Number one, I think your parents did a fantastic job of investing in you, yet giving you the space to fail, so to say, such that even when it looks like the investment wasn't paying, they are still like, you know what, every good thing I said while I was investing still stands. That's cool. I also want to acknowledge you for going through life without even recognizing that you are a big deal. I think you say so.
Was to be
nobody will hear what.
Forget when I was GS3. If I enter tomorrow,
I already verified on social media. I don't know what you want again. I think you say you are now, but the just trend of what you've said is you've done something and you're just like, what's next? Like, and I think you apply that to both your success and your failures. Do you understand? You don't sit enough to let something get in your head or get you down. You're just like, okay, it has happened. And then at least I should do the shoulder. Like, what next? I just want to acknowledge you for, I see you as like a boulder of a person. You're just boom through a good or great, bad or great. You're just moving, push through. And you have so much wisdom to dispense. And if you cannot tell right now, my respect for you has actually like gone up. I liked you as a human being before. Now I even more respect you. No, not for that, but like
me.
Before that, that's not the first thing that comes to mind when you think of yourself as a person.
I like it's not something you put out there. Like, oh, because if it was I'm like, next let's start from where the conversation.
No, like you really do not tie yourself to your failures or your success. And I think that's one lesson that you've not, enunciated, but has come through in you sharing your story. You are who you are, especially because you had that great support system from your parents. They already told you who you are. So when you're like, okay, I published a book, that's still not who I am. I left a job, that's still not who I am. Who I am is separate from whatever I'm feeling or achieving or not achieving. And I just wanted to say, yo, bro.
Thank you.
Yes.
I think the way you present yourself to people is very important. You don't want to portray yourself as, nobody introduces themselves and say, hi, my name is Tobi, I had it too. So I was having a conversation with a friend one time, and he was asking me like, oh, what company do I work for? So I said, I work for Engage. Our biggest competitor is Canva. And the girl was like,
wait, what?
Yeah. He's like, I'm very sorry. And to God who made me, that line was not something I stored in my head. It was just out of the blue kind of thing. It was like, I'm very sorry, you're working for a company whose biggest competitor is Canva. I'm like, yeah. And the guy's like, it's a big deal. I'm like, is it? I don't know. Right? So I think the way you position yourself and present yourself to people is like really important, because it's the grand scheme of things. If I say I work at this company, you say, I'm sorry, what company is that? But now I've said our biggest competitor is Canva. You're like, yeah, you're a big deal. Right?
I think it also is a function of what you imbibe. There are some people that won't tell you, hi, I'm Tobi, I got a tutu, but like everything they will do with them, they got a tutu.
That's very important.
They will just start saying like, say us, we know to guess it like
why would you say that?
Because you imbibe it,
you should not embody the failure that you have been through, because you are a better person today than you were yesterday. And it's not just in saying it, you also have to do it. Put in the work. For me, I would even say that, well, I haven't done a lot of things about myself. I had dreams, I should be here, but at the end of the day, it's still who is alive that is being here or being there. For me, the most important thing is doing my work, enjoying my family, living my life, spending my money. Because
traveling,
my brother is my next of kin, and that boy does not send me. The way we spend my money.
I think that there's the character of your next of kin can form how you live your life.
See!
I think this of next of kin.
You're not conscious.
If you are watching this podcast, I'm very sorry. But my brother. So I'm like, I'm at this stage. In my life.
Tobi would have wanted me to enjoy this.
Yes, please.
Even now, the way the boy is doing, I'm like,
I'm not even gone yet.
Like, I'm here.
Okay.
Next of kin, you will enjoy yourself.
Like the other time in Abuja, I went to work and I gave my mom my ATM card. I'm like, you're in my house. If you need anything, I go to work and I'll see David. Where is this woman going to? What's she doing? You don't even care if there's money. You're just spending it. It's short for her. I'm like, okay, no problem. Obviously, like I'm making money so that you can spend, but please relax. Calm down. Calm down. So I'm really just focusing on taking care of the people that took care of me, because that's very important. I have gone through this stage where I showed you Pepe. Now it's the sweet side of life. So I'm just like enjoying that. So you have to make sure that, be like me and don't live in the failure, because if you live in the failure,
you die there.
Who will you benefit? It's you now. Is it that will have high blood pressure?
You think me?
Exactly, you're doing yourself. You have to forge on, because I don't know how.
Especially as a Nigerian. Like,
one time I was texting my friend and the boy said, he was saying something about, you're not thinking about, I was like, I'm trying to eat or something. He said, you're not fasting. I said, fasting, that's what. He said, problems of Nigeria. I said, you better die. The problems of Nigeria. What's the deal? You're gonna die. You better eat your food and know that inside whatever it is, you have
no this and no peace.
Exactly. So
please.
I
think it's important to separate your identity as a person from your
success and your failure.
Yes.
Because if you're someone who, from when you were young, you always like put your
carry first.
You always, and then that's what you always first in every conversation. Do you know how smart I am? Do you know how rich I am? Do you know who I am? Do you know my father is?
Feel if somebody introduces themselves that way, he already tells the kind of person that they are.
Well, yes. But only smart people can detect that. There are people that are drawn by that. He's the king's son. He's this person's child. That's the reason I want to be friends with him. So you end up attracting people like you who also are with you because of your success, because of what you. And then the day you fail, it's now hard to separate yourself from that failure, because you now have to carry it too, because all that. People around
you
always standards, success, yes. And then they hold you to a standard and you're like, I didn't ask you to, but you did ask them to.
Yeah.
Because why are you saying, hi, my name is Tobi and I used to carry first in class. Okay, congratulations. And so, like, what are you doing now? What's going on with your life? I feel like I try to let people's character play out instead of them telling me at a go the way they are. I'm like, as time goes by,
I'll
people,
find out.
situations, circumstances will reveal to me who
People
you
who
are.
even tell you often had something to hide, whether consciously or subconsciously, because you're trying to impose something that should have grown organically.
Yes.
Don't do that. People that, oh my God, people that you meet and they're like, no, me normally, I'm actually a very nice person. One thing that I don't do, I mean, wallahi, they are wicked.
They are liars.
They are wicked.
Like
They
mad.
are. Especially women. If you meet the people I don't trust, when you meet a woman, she's like, oh, you're so pretty. Oh, darling. Oh, babe. If a girl I meet today, she got. That's why I'm attracted to wicked girls.
You know one
I
thing,
think that's why you're now friends.
you know one thing I like about myself?
Guy.
Even if I don't say, my face will say like, who's this person?
And then,
Why are you doing that?
if I know uncle,
And someone comes here and say, maybe you just joined like a new workplace, and the person says, so you hear rumors about me, but don't.
You are the
I'm
worst
a
person.
nice
there.
person.
You are the worst person.
Green snake under the green grass.
I already know who
Nigeria.
you are. You are the
You get-
worst.
So
What do you mean? I will hear rumors about you. I haven't even heard anything.
yeah,
And you're saying I'll hear rumors about
But
you.
then it depends on like the strength of character. A lot of people would fall for that.
yeah.
But a lot of people would be able to also discern and be like, nah, bro. Me, I've learned. See, sorry, there are 4 categories of people I don't trust. I'm sorry. If you are too light skinned, I don't trust you. I don't know. Number 2, if your voice is tiny, even when you're talking, you're like, hey.
See, people that talk with that kind of voice, I'm of the opinion that if you slap them once, someone sorrow.
One thing, consider there's something in their belly.
They will speak.
There is something in their belly. They know. Number 3, people that are overly nice. People that meet you, oh darling, oh babe, don't touch me. I'm not your mate.
I
Don't
hate
do
when
it.
you touch me.
Don't like.
I
Just
hate it.
be wicked to me. I prefer that. I will
Just show
respect
me,
you.
show
Just show me. Don't be the number 4. I've forgotten them. But yeah, I have my categories of. I don't.
Categories.
No.
Light skin, dirty light.
I'm sorry. There's something about it. And I've met someone who was like
Also,
light skin and with a tiny voice.
There's a light skinned person that recently did her dirty, so I understand her better. Yeah.
Apologies for our light skin.
Justice
If
for
you are
light
light
skin.
skin and you're happy to be nice, but I just want to drop a comment.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but no.
We're very.
Oh wow, this has been fantastic. Do you have any more things? So, do you have any questions for us? Don't ask us long questions. You are the guest, though.
I didn't come here with questions. Actually, I didn't come here with questions. Let me just say that.
Or for our viewers.
First of all, I like the fact that this podcast exists because a lot of people do not understand that failures happen for a reason, and failure doesn't have to be a bad thing. You can define who you are as a person in a good way or in a bad way,
Depending on how you approach it.
So this podcast exists to tell you that yes, you failed, but use it as a stepping stone to become a better person. So,
Please listen to what she said. She has sense. She was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
oh my god.
So there's what
We have, look,
she's a published
we
author.
have been very, I don't understand. So if you want to argue, okay, bring your own contestant.
If Frank Edo was here now, what will he say?
Bring your own who wants to be a millionaire contestant. Put it in the comments. Mention them. We have verification from our first episode, like with an external.
Bro, that's like a stamp. Bro,
And you know what's funny is that they didn't know this before I came on the show.
as you can see, we were thoroughly shocked by so many of the revelations.
The shock is not.
Shock you
about
Wabako.
it, so, yeah.
But I mean,
Thank you so much.
I've learned a lot, and I think
Honestly,
my biggest lesson today is
separate failures and success. Quotes to end today. Just because you failed. Oh, if you like fail, your next of kin will not have conscience.
I think that one. Your next of kin will inspire you.
Yeah, also, another quote is just because you can fail does not mean you should fail intentionally.
Don't go and plan and say, okay, since you say, let me just go and see. I want to experience what to be felt in the best.
It will do you like a dream. It will do you like a dream. It will do you like a dream. Why don't you say more? Yeah, so
Also,
thank you so
results can
much.
vary, so just learn to
Apply
yourself.
wisdom.
Yeah.
Thank you, and until the next episode.
Thank you,
Bye
guys.
bye.
Bye.